week.
Live. How about that?
Hello. Hello there. Hi there. It's Tab and my good friend Daniel behind the camera is going to help teach cool things this week. Let me know when people start joining. I'll dive in.
Yeah, 17 on Instagram.
Ooh, 17.
0 on YouTube.
0. Don't. If I ever do have 0 on YouTube, just keep that to yourself, okay?
Got it.
You do like some better marketing.
You have 3,000 on YouTube.
Okay, so today I want to teach you everything I know about Majestic mode on the MōVI Pro, specifically with respect to Blackjack, so that you can help dial in some whip pan settings for your MōVI Pro. So I just want to go over the fundamentals of Majestic first. There are a few things. I'm going to bring up Majestic screen in the app here. I've got the app on my phone. There are a few things you need to understand first. There's window, smoothing, and then we have span. Window, I want to just explain what these mean first. So window describes the amount of movement that the handles can do that it'll ignore. And so if we have, let's say we have a 90-degree window, then we have 45 degrees each way from neutral that will not cause, actually I'm going to explain that a little better. If we have 90-degree window, so 45 degrees each way, when we hit that 45-degree point, it'll do 100% of your left or your right command. So anywhere along that line, will command a percentage of the max command. And then smoothing, so let me take the window up just to show people what I mean. So I just took the window up to 60 degrees. So you'll see that there'll be no movement until I hit, let me take it down a little bit so you can see. There'll be no movement until I hit that amount of window. And then I just took the pan window down to 0. So there you can see every move that I make is reflected almost instantly. And then onto the smoothing parameter, that's going to dictate how much kind of ease in or ease out is applied at the beginning and end of each move. So I'm going to take, just to demo this, is a pan smoothing of 1. So this is super, super active. You can see almost no smoothing is being applied on pan or tilt. And then if I take the smoothing up, say, oftentimes the setting that I'll run very low window and high smoothing so that the MōVI responds to every one of my little moves, but the moves are very, very smooth. And what that gives you is really good pointing control, but really smooth shots. So that was a smoothing of 50 I just demoed there. So you can see on pan, it's very, very smooth and very precise. And then the final setting I want to go over is the span setting. So at the bottom of the app, there's 3 span settings: pan, tilt, and roll. And that controls how wide the overall Majestic span is. So when it's very, very narrow, like I'm going to, just for the sake of this demonstration, and I just want people to understand where all these parameters are so they can experiment. You guys can experiment with these values to find the ones that work best for you. But on span, let's say I'll take it down to 30 degrees on pan. And so now at only 30 degrees of handle movement, I'm going to be getting 100% power. So this is really, really kind of crazy active. So this would be good if you were in a shooting situation where you really didn't want to have to move the handles very much to get your max pan or tilt rate. And then it's also helpful sometimes on tilt, because sometimes you want tilt to follow you a little bit more actively so that you don't have to tilt the ring so much fore and aft. So there's an example of a low tilt Majestic span. Just for reference, the stock values that we used to ship with were 135, and then on the latest releases of software, we've been including Majestic span, so people can adjust them, and you can, come up with a setting that's a little bit more active for whip pan, fast tilts, that kind of thing. But I think the big thing to keep in mind is vary the Majestic span to control how active you want the system to feel on the particular axes, and then you can adjust the window and the smoothing to kind of further refine that. But in general, if you want to set up a really active system with fast whips, fast tilts, you're going to want to bring your span down. You can go to, in the latest Blackjack firmware release, you can go to Majestic Methods and select like one of our presets, slow, medium, fast, whip. So I'll go to fast, sets the spans, pan, tilt, and roll all to 70, sets the smoothing down at 5 and the window at 1. So you end up with a pretty fast system, but still really smooth. And then if you want to go even beyond that, you could select the Majestic preset called whip. And whip is kind of crazy, but it's basically like just absolutely as fast as the system can be. So really, really active pan, tilt, and roll rates. And this one's set up in 3D Majestic right now, so I have complete 3D control Majestic. I can go upside down if I want to. Portrait mode, upside down, portrait the other way. Still have Majestic control the whole time. So that's kind of everything I know about Majestic. Do we have any good questions we should go over?
Yeah, why is the ring mounted upside down, and what's the benefit of that?
So the ring is mounted upside down because we're going to be releasing a new version of the ring. Let me just turn this one down a little bit. I got the Majestic setting a little too high. This is a new version of the ring, new version of the Pro ring. It has the toad, it'll have the toad on the bottom, and then additionally it has mounting points for the toad here, 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 and here. So we've discovered in shooting with Blackjack and 360-degree roll, it's really useful sometimes to have toad mounted in all these different places on the ring. So this ring allows you to mount at each of those places. We've also made a few improvements to the toad in the hole. We've got a beefed up lever, aluminum lever here, and then also made some improvements to the operation of the toad to make it fit a little bit tighter, a little bit more secure with super heavy payloads. So those improvements made the system tight enough that we are able to run it in this way where the gimbal is pointed up. The nice thing is when you're running something like an Epic, you can mount the monitor right on top or anywhere in this region because you don't have the spine tubes blocking your field of view. So it makes for a really nice operating to have your monitor right there in line with your eyes. The camera's nice at eye level. It's super comfy to operate this way. So this will be an upcoming new version of the ring that we'll have out pretty soon, sometime around a month or so.
Another question for Cinema Robot, but someone is asking if there's Filmic Pro integration coming. They should contact them directly because we sent them our entire package. You should email them to show you're interested.
Any other good questions, Daniel? Nice form. Are you getting tired there, buddy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Daniel's carrying a cinema robot for like 15 minutes now. He's getting tired.
Not much audio. No other comments I see.
All right. Well, that's a good overview on how to get started and play with Majestic. The big thing I would say for people that are learning, just go in there and mess with every setting and derive a mental model of what each setting does so that when you get stuffed into some situation with a director yelling at you to pull off some shot, you have a really good underlying understanding of all these different parameters and how you can tweak and tune them to get exactly the shot you want. Because I think if you can achieve technical mastery of these different things, it'll really allow you to create awesome shots super easy. So, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the YouTube comments and we'll answer them sometime in the next 24, 48 hours. So, thanks everybody.